All of these, all of these are interpretations. Interpretations. You can say it of people, humans, but they're interpretations. They're just a way of seeing. They're just a way of trying to come to terms with what we are. AI is an interpretation. I can ask ChatGPT to put me up an image of a specific type of quality of person in a scene, and AI will give me an interpretation of what I require. The question is, why is there a need to interpret? You see? Why is there a need to say, this is what I think I want, you want, they want to see, hear, touch, smell? Because it's what we do as humans. We create interpretations of what the world means to me, of what people mean to me, of what life means to me. The question I always ask myself, and it's the question that really dissolves the interpretation into me, the interpreter, is, where is this space? Where does this interpretation take place? Your mind will say the planet Earth, but the Earth is a name, an interpretation of what we think we are living here as. You see? There's no powerful force or source said, this is what you will call yourself, this is what you will call the planet, this is what you will call a drawing, this is what you will call a painting. We've made it up ourselves. So the point of this is to discover the space where the interpretation is born from. Okay? It's life, you see. It's the very subtlety and beingness of life which is empty of interpretation, but it is full of exploration. So let's not look at it in a spiritual way, which is also another interpretation of what we think, spirit is, or a religious way, which is also another interpretation of a better life, or science, an interpretation of what we know, what we think to know, what we aim to know, what we want to discover about the truth of where the interpretation was born from. But let's look at it in a more human way. Whatever we interpret, whether it's through drawings or paintings, whether we interpret through our mind, our dreams, our needs, our beliefs, our religion, our spirituality, our science, whatever we try and interpret, is it worthy of being here? Is it worthy of being here? And if it is, let it be. Don't try and further interpret. You see, this is my interpretation of a man on top of a manhole, which I spent 22 years of my life sitting in the top of a manhole or down the manhole, okay, dreaming about where else I would rather be rather than sitting on top of this manhole and being warm down inside the manhole and cold in the outside, or being too hot in the inside. I want to come up to the top. You see, I want to go down to the bottom, I want to come up to the top. That's my interpretation. Why is there a need to further interpret? Why not just let these things be here? As the bird gives an interpretation of me invading its roof space. I mean, our interpretation of life in the external world can either be great or it can be so negative and distasteful, to the extent that I want to hide from the interpretation my mind gives of what is going on in this planet, what is going on in my life, what is going on in my country. That's why only painting for myself is. It's an opportunity to interpret the most simple things in life. The most simple things. Human beings. In this case, humans. Interpretations. They're not at war. They're working, school photos, sitting in nature, drinking Coca-Cola at Christmas time, or just relaxing. Simple human life. But very often the mind wants to interpret the things that it questions, that it wants answers to. And the answers evolve as just an interpretation. Because the answer of where the interpretation is born is you. You're the space where life experiences itself coming through you. Inside of you, outside of you, everywhere is you. You cannot escape your own interpretation of what you are because you've been conditioned into saying, this is my name, this is what I am, this is where I go, this is my story, this is where I live, this is what I do, this is what my aims are, this is what my past is. That's your interpretation. You can hold on to that. That will never go. But be honest and genuine with your interpretation. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed to say what you want to say about your life. Don't interpret the external world. It's doing it itself very, very simply and easily. Just, be a recluse certain times of the day and go inside and say, where is the space that I am, that I can interpret life in this way, in the way my mind wants to question it. So don't reject AI, it's just another form of human interpretation. Don't reject any other human being, they're interpreting it in their own way. But no human beings really look at the place of discovery. Myself, as I. From only painting is to my interpretation of the human form.